Yo, today I want to check out a level called Burrlisp by KrizHasALisp and BurritogamerX. The reason why I'm kind of covering this level instead of just like a featured easy demon or something is because this was made by one of my friends. He doesn't have any creator points, but I do think that he has the skill to make a featured level, to make a pretty interesting level. Like his other levels are like rate to feature worthy, like in between. It's why it's probably so hard for him to get a feature or just even a rate. A lot of his levels have problems with the fact that they're kind of static, not a lot of moving objects, and of course because they're usually a bit empty. He'll usually decorate one part of the level, like maybe the track where it's supposed to go, but not really decorate the top and the bottoms, and it can look a little bit empty. Maybe he'll leave the background a little bit empty. We'll see if he'll have the same recurring mistakes or not. Now BurritogamerX, I don't remember exactly, but his levels are not that bad. I don't really remember BurritogamerX's levels, but he does have a few CP if I remember correctly, so I think it's a collab that's kind of equal on the terms of skill. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, I think the start is a little bit cluttered, not a lot of contrast going on. By that I mean like the top is exactly the same color as the bottom, and since this part is very cluttered, it feels a little bit too much. There needs to be some sort of like space where the level can breathe, and the background is very bright. Like if it was darker, that would be the breathing space, but since it's so bright, I would need maybe perhaps like a big old glow that's the same color as the background, that would sort of color the top blocks to the bottom, you know, like it would fade out. I like that effect. That's a cool effect. And it seems like a press here. I feel like you need to make some sort of custom objects. I don't know. Okay. The block design is a little bit empty in this first block part. Oh, what the hell? That's not that good. Oh, this seems to be lagging a little bit for me. Do I have to press those? It doesn't seem like I have to press those at all. Yeah, I don't get punished. And the song just ends. Something to note that this level is incredibly short. This is like a 40-second level. Okay, I think we can just beat it one attempt. GG. I would say that was like maybe like a hard 5-star. So some critique with this level. I feel like when starting off in general, the gameplay isn't fun, and you can tell that Kriz doesn't make easy gameplay because it doesn't give you breathing room, nor does it like save you from death when you like press an orb late. Like if you press an orb, that should be enough to completely save you in an easy level. Here you can press the orb late, early you'll still die, and I don't like that in easy levels. I really don't like that. Like when it comes to demons, you can have whatever timing you want on orbs, but below that you have to make sure the player is not killed after pressing an orb. It's really important, especially the first orb. It's a sort of thing where you just want the player to be alive. You want the player to just press, to just react, but you don't want him to press when he needs to press. There's a few other things that I don't like about the gameplay, like for example some ball parts. You will have like not very synced up gameplay. It's like a little bit tight. You have to like go out of sync just so you don't die, that sort of thing. Moving on to decoration, I think what I lacked a lot in this level is contrast. Definitely a few parts nailed it well. Like if you begin with the start, there is no contrast in the start. It feels a little bit too much, and as I said, I would have added a big old glow from the top to the bottom. That would be the same color as the background. And you can have it a sort of nice little fade out. Maybe you could add some haze to the foreground at the bottom. That could also work well, but this part doesn't really do that, and we're sort of left without any contrast at all, and can feel a little bit too much. The block design is nothing to write home about, copy-pasted as hell, but I mean, it is incredibly simplistic, and it's hard to notice that copy-paste just because of how much it is simplistic. Talking about the second part, I was lacking a background, really. The problem with the effects is that this level is trying to be a little bit more modernistic, a little bit more simplistic styled, but you're using effects that are used in effect levels, and it doesn't really work, especially since the effects, there is no like gradient to them. Like all of the effects are the same color. They're not like some are darker, some are more brighter. They're all the same, which I mean, it works, right? I guess it could work, but it doesn't fit the style. I would say it doesn't fit the style. The gameplay in here is kind of unique. I actually kind of like it. I just wish there were some more indicators that you're not technically like a ship, right? Maybe you could add some sort of like glow around the player, maybe like I don't know, some sort of effect. I think that would be cool. When it comes to the ball part, I like it. But the problem is, it's kind of the same problem here, is that we're using styled effects for modernistic style, which it doesn't work. It can be a little bit, I would say, out of tune. Something just feels wrong, you know. The background is not existent. I would have loved like an more modernistic, like simple art style background, like maybe like a sunset or something, especially with like all the palm trees. You know, it could feel kind of relaxing, but it's not here. I also wish there was some contrast in the blocks. They're incredibly simplistic, and maybe at least like adding some haze at the bottom and the top, or just like a little bit of glow to like round them up would have been a cool addition, honestly, just so spice them up a little bit, you know, make the really boring blocks look a little bit cooler. There's also no moving objects as well, so the level doesn't feel alive, you know. When we transition to the other ball part, which is kind of a little bit of a jarring transition, honestly, but I don't mind it that much just because, I don't know, the colors stay the same. I like this background. I think this is a really cool background with a little like palm tree, little goddamn cube thing, you know. I like the outlines. We're now sort of actually creating contrast. We're creating pretty like red blocks, then we have like a white outline, you know. That's contrast, not like the other parts. And the blocks really stick out in this part. They're way more memorable than whatever the hell was in those previous parts. Like I don't even know what was in those previous parts. There's some cool ideas, cool effects going on. I'm still missing something. It's a little bit empty. Something at the top and the bottom, some air decoration, just like a second background that's like just behind the blocks to create a little bit of a parallax sort of effect would have been pretty cool. I like that we're actually adding like a background to the other upcoming part. It feels better for sure. It feels a little bit more atmospheric, and we're also having some block movement, which I like that. I really wanted more block movement from this level. The ship part sort of repeats the same background. The problem with this is that it's kind of a jarring switch, like we're having like outline blocks and then we just switch like midway through the part to a completely different block design. We then switch the colors a little bit. Like if this was a separate part, that would have been better for sure. Now that we're sort of not even letting parts develop fully, I just want more, you know. Like I'm seeing a part and I was like, damn, I want to experience this part a little bit more, but now we're just sort of switching in the middle. Like what's happening? And then of course it just ends randomly because the song ends randomly, which means that the song choice was not a good song choice because you just end at 40 seconds. Overall, I would say that Burrlisp is an okay hard level. I would say the same problems stick out as there always has been, which is lack of movement and emptiness. A lot of backgrounds were empty. The block designs, a lot are empty, very modernistic. I'm fine with modern style, but if we're not doing effects, if we're not doing like a background, can't just have simple block design and then just like say it's modernistic and then expect people to like be very impressed by it. It still needs more in the level, something a little bit more to tie it up, some sort of an effect layer, another effect layer, another background, something just more. There's already all the components to make this a good feature level, but it just needs more. The level is also incredibly short, probably because they picked a bad song. Not picking your song correctly is a big mistake. The song choice is one of the most important aspects of a level. It's literally gonna make or break a level, so you have to make sure you pick a good one, and this one just doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you shouldn't use it, and they still used it, and because of that, I think that it's definitely not gonna get featured. Is it gonna get a star rating? Maybe. I'm not sure. Like, if I was a mod, I would personally not give this a star rating, and because of the things that I mentioned, and because of the fact that this level is incredibly short. If this was a long level, I could definitely see the star rating. You would have more time to develop parts, more time to get used to the level, get used to the atmosphere, as well as the song. But now, since it's so short, we just sort of experience it very quickly, and it just ends so abruptly, you know? There is no satisfying ending to this level. Okay, hope you enjoyed that or something. I don't know. Goodbye!